I'm going to start with by sharing the vision that I received, and I wrote it in my Book of Shadows. I am putting here all the visions that I received, the different recipes, like magical recipes, and all about herbs and crystals and all that magical stuff. So once I'm more into it, I'll be sharing a video about this because I am a Gemini and my mind is all over the place. So having a book that is just about everything that has to do with magic, with crystals, with just everything that I love is giving me a way to organize everything, because I have so many notebooks and I have so many notes, but they're all over the place. So definitely recommend a Book of Shadows. Okay, so when I was taking a shower this morning, I received this vision and I saw a lot of women inside of a temple in ancient Egypt, and I was one of those women. I didn't look the way I look now. It was a different body, it was a whole different experience. And so I was there again, surrounded by a lot of women. We were all naked. And what I remember is that there were just a lot of candles. The fire element was very present. There was like incense and a lot of like the smell, the beautiful smell of essential oils, and just it was a very magical ambiance. That's the word, right? Yeah. And so I could feel, what I felt is that all of these women were initiates of the sex magic practice, and we were all being trained under the wings of Isis. That's what I heard in my mind when I was experiencing that or seeing that. And so it was a bunch of women, and then there was this high priestess in the middle, or she was just not isolated, but you could tell that she was different than us. And so she was the one initiating all the women and teaching all the women all the ancient practices of sex magic. And it was a very beautiful experience because, you know, we were all like right there doing our own thing, you know, like touching ourselves. And again, we were all naked, right? And it was amazing. The message that I received is that this temple was utilized to cultivate and to harness sexual energy. And what I felt is that the crystals that were around us were being charged by our energy, by us cultivating that sexual fire, and it was being transmitted to the crystals and they were being charged. And so that was amazing. And then after I saw that vision of all the women being initiated and just, you know, like practicing and doing all that sex magic, I then saw myself, and what I heard is that this was a completion of my initiation. And so when the initiation is completed, you get to practice sex magic with a masculine embodiment, or with the physical embodiment of the masculine energy, so with a man. And so I then saw myself, and I was in the middle, and I was surrounded by all these priestesses, and the high priestess was there, and I was wearing a golden crown, but the crown had a crystal right here, and that was lapis lazuli. And then there were also crystals like carnelian, and there was a lot of gold. So gold, it was a very powerful metal that was used during that time. And something that I wrote here is that so much energy is cultivated during the act of sex. In ancient times, this energy was consciously generated to upkeep the temples, charge crystals, and anchor divine feminine energy. And then I also wrote, women were in charge of maintaining high levels of energy in the temples. We opened portals to other dimensional planes and universes. And this is something that was very respected. And it was just the pharaohs and the kings in ancient times and priests. They really respected the feminine energy and they worked with it. They gave women the space to be, you know, these oracles and these like portals to other dimensions, to other universes. It was very magical. And then on my way here, as I was driving, I had to stop because I received this, like, just I kept receiving messages. And one of the things that I heard is the feminine energy is the void. The masculine energy comes out of the void. Without masculine energy, the feminine remains as the void. But the masculine energy without the feminine does not exist. One cannot exist harmoniously without the other. It is the masculine energy that gives light, direction, purpose. The universes are first seated in the womb of the feminine, but are fertilized by the light of the masculine. It expands because of this harmonious, I can't say the word shit, because of this divine union. And I thought this was so amazing because, as you all know, you know, in ancient times, the feminine energy was very powerful, but then, you know, the patriarchy and a lot of men that were leaders or had power, they were afraid of what the feminine energy was able to do, and they understood that without the feminine, the masculine cannot exist. And it's the other way around, right? There has to be a balance. And so they were very greedy, and they decided that they wanted to be the ones in power. They wanted to be the ones to remain in control. And so they saw women, and they, you know, they saw them as witches, as sinful. They were persecuted and killed and hung for being witches, right? For just embracing their sacred sexuality, for just really connecting to spirit and being this beautiful just portal to other dimensions. And that was very scary. It is terrifying, right? And so I really felt very guided to share this information. And I know many of you already know this, but this is just my perspective, right, of just the visions that I'm receiving and the information, the energy that I am integrating. I've been doing a lot of witchy stuff. I've been learning about witchcraft and herbs, and really just connecting to that energy within myself, because I believe that a lot of us that do hold those frequencies of just priestesshood and witchcraft and, you know, that energy, a lot of us have oppressed that within ourselves, repressed, oppressed. I don't know what the word is, but we do it because we are afraid of judgment. We are carrying a lot of the energy of our ancestors that were killed, that were persecuted for just shining their beautiful divine light. And so it is getting real right now, and there's a lot happening in the world. But this is also giving us, it is the opportunity for us to really take charge of our own lives and to be courageous and to stand in our power. Nothing that happens outside of ourselves is going to change how we feel inside or how we act, what we do. We are the ones in control. We are the ones that have the power. Not the government, not anyone else. So